Future Music.
Like to welcome my guest on the Major Music Lounge, producer and artist Ellatronix. How are you this evening? Or good morning to you. She's coming
Good
actually
morning.
from Australia. I'm in Dallas and it's like about to be 7 p.m. So it's
Yeah,
very different dynamic. So I appreciate you, getting up bright and early to catch up with me.
that's no worries at all. I set my alarm especially for this interview because I'm not a morning person. So,
I hear
um,
you.
but yeah, artists we like to stay up late creating and all sorts of things late at night. So, but yeah, no, it's good. I'm good, thank you. Thanks so much for having me on the show, and it's so lovely to meet you and talk to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because it's been close to I think we met during Beattober. Yeah, during Beattober,
Yeah.
and you just been following a lot of your work, and I was really, I guess that's what kind of also I had followed the hashtag, and I saw a lot of the videos that you were doing around that time.
Ah,
And it was
yeah,
cool. I liked a lot of the background that you had and just, your whole overall
yeah.
presentation, which we'll kind of get into. Um, what I wanted to ask, what I usually ask everybody, first
Hmm.
question, tell me a little bit about your journey as far as when did you get started with creating music and how long have you been creating music?
Mm, yeah, so um I started music quite a while ago, like probably in the early 2000s. However, I didn't really start applying myself or taking things seriously until 2012. That is when I really made a choice that music is definitely something that I want to make a part of my everyday life. I want to create a sustainable income from it. And I'd like to be able to really, it wasn't about the income, actually. It was more about engaging my passion and my gift of music and actually applying it into my life every day because I had a strong feeling or strong will that if I engaged my passion in my life, that would bring me a lot of fulfillment and happiness and purpose in life. So it wasn't until 2012 that I really put my head down. I started really practicing my skills, my vocals every day. I was singing every day. I was going out performing like open mic nights because I started out as a singer-songwriter, so I was playing my guitar and writing songs and singing. And so I was like really applying myself since then, since 2012. And
Okay.
ever since then, my life has only just grown. It's just kept kind of like opening doors, new doors, and expanding on what I'm doing. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a short story of it.
That's pretty cool. So it's really like about 10 years almost.
Yeah,
And
almost 10 years, yeah, that I've been at this, like, since have been made that decision. And when I made that decision, I left my job. I was working in a corporate university doing student recruitment work. And I started to realize, what am I doing here? Like, for a while there, it was okay. It was kind of like, I um, didn't have an issue with it. I'd wake up, go to work. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. I like this job. Then after a while, when I started to get that burning desire, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is not my path. Like I need to find, my path in music. So I ended up, yeah, quitting that job. And the old music school that I studied at called me up and said, we hear you're looking for work, and why don't you come and teach here at Ab Music? And so I went there and started teaching. Then I started getting invited to perform other gigs. And then I found this job opportunity here in Sydney to work for the Sydney Festival as a paid intern. So that's kind of what brought me over to Sydney because I'm actually from Perth, Western Australia originally.
I really admire, the fact that you talked a lot about how, some people really never even pursue what their, passion is. and you
Mm.
took a chance. Now, as far as the journey currently, like
Mm.
how have you balanced creating music and creating content side by side with that, like for YouTube and a lot of the work that you do, like on Instagram as well?
Yeah, it's a tough balance to get right between the work life and having to pay the bills and pay your rent, have food on the table, to creating and doing what you really desire as an artist. So it's a
Yeah,
bit of a tough balance. I currently work as a music teacher for a local school here in Sydney, and so I do that part time, casual, and then I also do other work with another organization called Heaps Decent, where we do music workshops for young people in the community. And we just recently got back from Wagga Wagga, where we were teaching young people at the Multicultural Centre, or running workshops with them, teaching them, well, really facilitating them to record and produce their own music and that sort of a thing. So, along with that, obviously, as you know, I'm creating content for my social media platforms, which is Instagram and YouTube. And so, I guess having a good, inspiring environment to work in helps a lot to be able to maintain that balance and get motivated when you are at home to work. So that's what I spent my time doing over the holidays, the Christmas season. I spent, my time setting up my studio spaces here as you see, I'm in my home studio recording, and also my, studio out there in my living room where we film other content for YouTube and things like that. So having a space is very important that will inspire you and motivate you to create. And also trying to maintain your sleep, because
yeah,
if you just stay up too many late nights in a row, you will burn out. And I find that happening to me. I have, if I go 2 or 3 nights in a row when I'm going to bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm smashed by the third night. And then it's like lights out pretty early for me, after that. So getting a good balance with sleep, eating right, drinking lots of water, staying away from, the sugary carbs and things like that, the sodas and all of that. that
sure,
that
sure,
usually puts me in a slump. So I try to just eat healthy and drink heaps of water as well, just
sure.
to you know, like stay awake really. So
Yeah,
yeah, I just
yeah.
try to take care of myself. Yeah.
Same way. You're you'll be surprised really how rest has a big impact on your
Yeah.
ability to create and eating right as well. If you're not healthy, you can't create. You got
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you're not eating the right foods, and I've been down that path before where I've just smashed myself with just junk food after junk food after junk food. And yeah, it just became so tired, so sore all the time. So yeah, making sure you're staying healthy to be able to create, and have the energy and the stamina to be focused on what you're doing, because it's all about endurance right now.
it
You got
is,
to
yeah.
endure, to like before you can see anything really opening up. It's an endurance game. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta roll with the punches because there will be good and there will be bad times, and it's really
Exactly.
about how you get through those times.
100%. Yeah, exactly right.
One of the things that I liked also is as a producer, you talk a little bit about how mental health plays a big part in creating, and I like the fact that you talk about that on your channel. Um, I noticed that's a topic that you're very passionate about. Could you go ahead and elaborate on that and, just how you really got into talking about mental health on your channel?
Sure, yeah. So the reason why I decided to speak more openly about mental health and about issues to do with emotions is because I would see often on my Instagram page posts from other artists expressing themselves about their depression and that they're struggling and that they're going through, they've just had another bout of depression, and that's why they were kind of absent on Instagram, and, just artists opening up and sharing their struggles. And what I noticed was there's a common theme between all of these posts in which a lot of the artists feel like it's something that they have to manage and control, and there's kind of like just something that they have to put up with in life. And as I have mentioned, I have over 10,000 hours in dealing with depression. So, I often joke that I'm a little bit of an expert because of that. They say you have to have 10,000 hours to become a professional at something. So, but, what I'm really trying to say is that because of my experiences in that and how and what I've learned and how to overcome some of these issues and actually how to work towards healing it, I felt a strong need to share this information that may assist and benefit other people, because I feel very passionate that emotional injuries, emotional issues, mental health issues is not something that you have to live with for the rest of your life. Everything is completely healable. That's the way the things were created in terms of the human body. We cut ourselves, it heals, right? So we see things healing in our bodies even. And when it comes to emotional injuries, it is the same concept. When we have something that's broken inside of us, it can be healed. But what not many people realize is that actually what the healing ingredient is the tears. The tears heal. So when you allow yourself to emotionally express yourself and actually connect to what you're feeling, your hurt and your pain or your anger, whatever it is that is inside of you that is creating issues, if it is felt and released, you can feel a great relief inside of you. And we've all experienced that, even as children, even as adults. When you have a cry, how do you feel afterwards? You
Relief.
often feel so much better, right? And what's happening is we're bottling up all of our emotions and we're storing them, and they just become so toxic inside of us. And they weigh us down, they're heavy, they create so many different issues. But when you actually allow yourself to connect to that, this is a simple act of crying, you will feel 100% better, and you'll start to work through and discover so much about yourself in that process. You don't just release these emotions, but you actually receive truth and like about why you feel that way and about where it's connected to. So it's just such a beautiful process that I've been putting into practice over the past 7 years that has been helping me. Like I said, I've lived with depression all my life. It's held me back. It's kept me small. It's stopped me from actually engaging my passion and my purpose. It's driven so many like unloving behaviors and negative behaviors in my life that I've really harmed myself and other people. And I've just seen the devastating effects that holding on to these emotions can have. And so, as I've began to process through these over the last 7 years, I've seen my life and myself as a person expand and grow in ways that I couldn't have imagined. And I always say this, don't get me wrong, there's so much more growing to do, and I haven't learnt it all, haven't healed it all, but it's been the beginning of a beautiful process. So I feel strongly to share this information because a lot of people do feel like it's something that just has to be lived with, managed with, coped, and they have to put up with it, and it's just not true. So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to share it on my channel and shed some light, because hey, it's really needed in this industry. We've had artists die of suicide, like artists who feel like there's no way out. And it's sad, beautiful artists, beautiful souls who have felt like there's just no hope. So it's a much needed discussion in this industry, especially. So that's why I want to share.
Yeah, and it's sad in a way that some people keep this bottled up, and it could lead to things like health issues, drug use. It could
100%.
lead to self implosion. Just maybe for getting themselves in trouble, and
100%.
a
Yeah,
lot of
because when you bottle it up and that anger, it comes out in different situations. I've been arrested for disorderly conduct. Like, so I've been, for me that was the lowest. You know what I mean? Where I let my anger get bottled up so much that I just took it out, like on people that you know what I mean, that really had nothing to do with what I was going through. So, yeah, Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's really important.
I mean, I had a, similar instance. There was one time e- where I got arrested as well for similar situation, and it was kind of a wake up call for me. And
Mm,
that I've been creating music myself. I would say probably about 15 years, and
mm,
at the beginning of that, I I would go out a lot, drink a lot, doing things along those lines. And I was younger in my 20s,
mhm.
and um I had to kind of learn some things along the way.
Yeah.
And no matter what, it's kind of like music was something that I fell back on from those things. And you kind of talked about it earlier. It's kind of
Mm,
like music to me is like therapy, helps me heal, even
mm,
at a time, like right now. I recently had a death, and um it's just
mm,
helping me kind of get back to normal, even though that was a music partner of mine. It's kind of helping me get along in these times. And a lot of people don't really, I've spoken to people about some of the things that I'm going through and been through, and it's helped me so much along the way. So yeah,
mm.
you're absolutely right.
100%. Yeah, I can totally relate. Like, um, music has helped me to definitely make more positive choices for my life. So having a purpose, having a passion can really drive you to make better decisions for yourself because yeah, and if it wasn't for music, I may not have made those choices to go, wow, okay, if I really want to do music, this has to go. What I'm doing right here, this destruction, drug and alcohol abuse, been there before 15 years, and getting caught up in just toxic friendships, relationships, bad circles and things like that, that just weren't good for my soul. All of that had to go if I wanted to embrace music and make a better choice for my life. So it really, music in that way has really been a big part of like changing my life for the better, and then I've had to do the other work, behind the scenes as well on myself, the emotional work along with that. So yeah, it's been such a positive, you know, um, tool for me in my life, definitely.
And keep it up. You're doing an amazing job. I want to commend you on that.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
no problem. Let's talk a little bit about your studio now. So,
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
noticed that you're Ableton user primarily. Is that like
Yeah, primarily Ableton user. I started
okay?
out using Pro Tools as a singer-songwriter. I had my, I think, I don't know what, Pro Tools 7 or 8 was what I started out with in my room back in Perth. And I would record my guitar parts and my vocals. And then when I came over to Sydney, I started studying music. And throughout my time at university, I started out on Logic Pro. So then I started learning how to produce music in that. And then I heard of Ableton. And once I started learning Ableton, I was like, yeah, this is the one that I want to use. So, yeah. And then I've actually been experimenting with Machina. So,
Okay.
Machina 2. So, the software that comes with the Machina that I bought, Machina Mark 3. So, learning how to like arrange in that and make the beats in there as well. But definitely I usually stick with Ableton. Sometimes head over to Logic every now and again to maybe um, yeah, check out some of their, I don't know, sounds over there, but very rarely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm primarily a machine guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah, I
been
see
using
you
machine.
universally.
Ableton I've always been interested in. I haven't used Ableton. It's just one of those things where like I have Logic 2 as well. Like Logic, I'll probably say is the number two program
Uh-huh.
that I produce with on my
Yeah,
Mac. And then I have Reason. Reason was the first program I learned how to make beats in, like
yeah,
way
yeah.
back. Um, but
The
I
OG.
I do want to get into Ableton at some point. Because a lot of my other friends use Ableton as well, and they swear by it. And
Yeah,
I see a lot of people really getting in and making some good material with Ableton.
Yeah, cool.
Um, do you have any hardware as well in your studio?
Hardware. Well, um,
Mhm.
I have a my
Or the push?
RME. Well,
Oh,
yeah, I've got the push. I've got the RME Fireface UCX, which is a audio interface over there.
okay.
So I got the push. I've got the 88 keys complete keyboard. I've got quite a few pieces of MIDI controllers. I've got my guitars here and amps. So yeah, I mean, as far as hardware goes, I'm a MIDI girl, so I like to, find all the latest MIDI controllers and give them a shot and things like that. And I haven't bought a MIDI controller for a while now, and I'm itching to. So, but
I'm
there's nothing really out that I want at the moment. So yeah,
I'm itching too. I was thinking about that today. I was like,
yeah.
because I want that MPK looks just the
Ooh,
perfect size to put in my
yeah.
bag when I want to travel.
Ah. Oh, well, hey, guess what? I've got a giveaway coming up really soon. I know I keep mentioning this, but I will be doing a giveaway and I have a few MPKs that I'll be giving away. So keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting to do this giveaway, but I've got something else that I want to launch first so that I've got what I'm launching there, I want to be a part of the giveaway as well. So yeah, which
Definitely.
I'll reveal more in due time, but I'm still working on it behind the scenes and yeah, trying to get all.
Definitely. Let's get into that. Actually, well, not the giveaway. I want I don't want you to announce that yet.
No,
What
no.
what I want to ask about is let's talk a little bit. We talked about YouTube. Now, how long have you had your channel? And
Ooh,
tell our audience a little bit about some of the content that you create, like tutorials, and maybe
sure.
we already talked about some of like the mental health aspects of it as well. But tell the listeners a little bit about your channel.
Yeah, cool. So my YouTube channel I've had probably since April maybe of 2019, so it's still pretty fresh. And really, I mean, I didn't post much in 2019 on my YouTube channel and 2020. Like, I would have posted a beat video here and there. More towards the end of the year, I was like, right, I got to get into making some how-to videos, tutorials, and things like that. So basically, what I post on there is a combination of beat videos. I've got my Soul Growth Sunday series as well that I do, which is all about the emotions as we chat about. And then I've also got my how-to videos, so tutorials on how I make beats, how I perform beats using different MIDI controllers like the launch pads and the launch keys, so the Novation products. And also, I recently did a little bit of an unboxing on the Akai MPK because it's a controller that I've never really used before. I did actually have an MPK for like a couple of years, which was the Mark II, but I never actually used it to make a beat. So yeah, it's really just a channel that will share with you my electronic music knowledge and production processes and things like that, as well as how-to videos, and also obviously topics that are really important to me as well. So it hasn't been going for that long. I've really only been truly consistent with posting videos on that this year. So I had a grand plan of posting 3 videos a week, but just with my work schedule and the time that takes me to edit a video, I scaled it back to just posting weekly when I can. So definitely at the very minimum of 1 video a week. And if I can get more in that week, I will. But it's definitely, yeah, just trying to do the best that I can with my time. So
Yeah, that's the part. You mentioned earlier. You've been having a consistent rhythm around posting, and that was one of the things personally. Like, kind of same way. I actually been having my channel, probably about 10 years or so,
yeah,
but probably in
yeah,
the last two, maybe year and a half or 2 years, I've been posting
yeah,
consistently.
yeah.
Because it used to just be beat making videos. But one
Uh-huh.
of the things is like I never used to like talking in front of the camera.
Oh,
Um
same.
and it's kind of like my job kind of forced me because I have to talk in front of people for what
Yeah.
what I do at work. But it kind of opened me up to start talking more on YouTube. And then I put up
Mm,
an NPC video, people enjoyed it. And then from there, it kind of led to people asking about other things that I did. So
mm,
that's when I developed, maybe once a week doing tutorials and then still sticking with a beat making video and then doing this as well, like doing this podcast because I did a radio show years ago, but that was before they even had like video uh on for streaming. So
yeah.
yeah, keep that up as well. That's one of the things is, and I watch some of your videos as well. So I'm a fan of a lot of the work that you're
Mm.
doing. I wanted to let you know that. And
Oh, thanks so much, Dee. Yeah, appreciate that.
now you have a project coming very soon. You,
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I have a bunch of instrumentals that I've been creating, as you know, on Instagram and things like that. And like, it's about time I just arrange these and, release them as songs on Spotify and things like that. So my first release, my first instrumental that I've ever released in my whole entire life will be released on the 2nd of May. And that's coming up. And then I've got a whole bunch of instrumentals that are going to be released after that as well. So it's called Electric Sunset.
okay.
And it's kind of emotional, happy kind of vibe song with a bit of tropical house flavor in it. And yeah, it's just we went out shooting this week for it and just to get some visuals for it, being my first instrumental beat release,
Okay.
official beat release on the official stores. So um, yeah, it's a really cool little tune that I came up with, and I'm just excited to put it out there and just start like being consistent with what I'm doing, and what I found as a singer songwriter was that like I released an EP in 2019 that was a singer songwriter EP, and I haven't really released much since then. But what I'm discovering with the beat making world is that it's just a whole new world of creativity and an opportunity to get music out there a lot quicker. Where the singer songwriter stuff, you kind of want to mold that a bit and like really kind of take your time with that sort of stuff. But when you're making beats, it's your ideas there. You just got to flesh it out now into an arrangement, mix it really well, and pop it out there. You're not really like worry too much about your lyrics or your vocal delivery and things like that, which often can take time to really get right. So yeah, I'm excited to put this out there and to just keep being consistent with what I'm doing and put out some good music that people can enjoy when they're either just chilling out at home, wanting to maybe have a little bit of a dance inside their home, like no one's watching. It's just really chilled, laid back kind of tunes that people can bop their heads to and tap their toes, really.
Yeah, when I hear I think it was the Ayo song that you did.
Oh yeah,
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 it's got positive vibes on it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, you have
definitely, yeah,
your sound is just that very like I don't know, just get you upbeat when I hear your
yeah.
your music. So
Yeah, definitely. I like to, especially if it's singer-songwriter stuff, like I really like to make my lyrics count and share something that's maybe going to benefit other people. So that's what I, tend to create these days. Don't get me wrong, I've written an angry song in the past and, written some crazy lyrics. But these days it's, just wanting to put out some positivity in the world and some truth that maybe people can grab a hold of. And, that song's all about following your passions and really doing something you want to do with your life. So yeah, AO was fun for me. I had a whole bunch of singers on there. One guy actually, his name's Bruce Hathcock. He's from America, LA, and he's over here now teaching as well in the same music school as me. And he used to be a Bone Thugs artist, so he sang on the track for me as well. So yeah.
okay, all right, all right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, what you're doing and you're very consistent at that. So keep that up as well, definitely.
Thanks so much.
Now,
Yeah.
one of the things you that I noticed, you're also very passionate about the environment. You did
Mhm.
something around planting trees, and are you doing something again now in regards to that?
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, brother, because
Yeah.
I often forget, these things that I'm doing. But yeah, so basically, my I have a production studio called Soulset Studios, and this is a business that I run with my partner, and it's a film and music production business. We often do more things related to film at the moment, and our studios, we've partnered with One Tree Planted to be an ambassador for them. So that means that any type of service we sell, anything that we put out there that may generate an income, we often will donate a portion of our income towards planting trees. So whenever I do a release as Ellatronix, because it's kind of under this Soulset Studios umbrella, it's a good opportunity to spread some awareness about the environment and the impact that we're having on the environment, and also to plant some trees. So that's why I do for every 5 pre-saves, I'll plant a tree. And that's something that I'm doing with my release coming up on the 2nd of May. So if someone goes and pre-saves the track, for every 5 pre-saves, I'll plant a tree. And then for the first 2 weeks of its release, for every play I receive on the track, for every 5 spins on the track, I will also plant a tree. So the little campaign goes up to the 2-week mark of the release. So I give it up to 2 weeks and then I plant the trees. So it's just something that I like to do and give back to the environment, because personally, I've learned a lot about how much my personal actions have contributed to harming the planet and how much damage I've personally caused. So it's just a small way in which I can make retribution, really, and do all that I can to assist, the regeneration of the earth in certain areas. So I know it's not much, but it's just something small that I have chosen to do to, assist the environment, really, and to, for future generations. Like, we've only got one planet Earth, and man, I watched this thing on Google Earth the other day or yesterday. They have an Instagram account, YouTube, and they did a time lapse from 1984 up until 2021 of different places in the Earth, and you can see the degradation over that time. So they did Greenland, where it's ice, all ice, and they showed how much ice has been like melted from then until now. So there's just a lot going on in the planet that, we aren't aware about. So yeah, that's just a little initiative that I like to, be involved in.
Go pre-save that new single, and
Absolutely,
we need to
yeah.
get some more trees planted.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Before we go off for the evening, where can people find like your music and your platforms? Well, evening. I'm thinking about it. It's morning for
Yeah, no, that's okay.
uh, but yeah, where can they find like all of your music, your YouTube, your social media?
Yeah, so my music is on all streaming platforms. So if you head to SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, even Bandcamp, all the major platforms, you can find my music under Ellatronix. And obviously, if you keep up to date with my socials, you'll be able to, hear when I'm putting out new music and things like that. Better yet, just follow me over on those streaming platforms and you'll get the notification of when I'm releasing new music. And yeah, hit me up on YouTube, hit that subscribe button over there, because I'll always be announcing new projects and things like that over there. So as many platforms you can follow me on, you'll always hear about my music and what I'm doing and when I'm releasing new songs.
Yeah, I am subscribed. Actually, I got 2 accounts. I'm subscribed on both of them because
Oh,
I
nice.
end up watching YouTube a lot from the couch and when I'm on a go as well. And I take a look at a lot of your videos as well. And
Yeah.
of course on Instagram, I'm definitely a fan of the work that you're doing, and keep that up as
Thanks
well.
so much, brother. Thanks so much, brother. And likewise, I love your latest video was so awesome.
Thank
Like,
you.
just the visuals and the editing was like amazing. And the track sounded super cool. So yeah, I was keen to like get the lyrics so I can, you know, see what you were rapping about and things like that. But I have to have another listen with my earphones in this time so I can really, you know, like check it out. But it was really cool. So, you know, you're doing awesome work as well. And I love like your posts and things like that. And yeah, just keep it up as well. And it's, you know, really awesome to meet so many cool people from around the world who are engaging their passion and doing what they love and seeing them flourish in their life. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see. So yeah,
I
likewise.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. And you know, I just wanted to let you know as well, you know, anytime you have any type of releases or, you know, you want to get on and talk about something, you're definitely more than welcome. Feel free to reach out to me anytime
Ah,
and you know, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen
thank
just
you
like we
so
did.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks so
So
much, brother.
we were literally texting back and forth like, what time is it there? What time is it here? And we're trying to get on the same page so we can make this happen. So, you know, I definitely
100%.
appreciate
Yeah, no worries. Thanks so much for that. Yeah. It's a weird you know, thing, the time, right? The time difference is so crazy to know that there's other parts in the world and a completely different time zone. So, yeah, but it was good that we made it work and we found a equilibrium where we're like it's not going to be too late for you, it's not going to be too early for me. So, yeah, it was good.
Hey, maybe next time it'll be the morning here and it'll be night over
In the
there.
yeah. We'll switch it around,
We
hey?
switch it around.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
Well, this has been another edition of the Major Music Lounge. We were joined, had a conversation with Ellatronix. Definitely go ahead, follow her, and support that new single coming out. We need to get some new trees planted. Electric Sunset, May 2nd. Go ahead and
That's
get
the
that
one. Yeah,
on
thank you.
Spotify, Apple Music, all streaming platforms. All right. This is D Dot and Ellatronix, and I'm out.
Major music.